Okay, this is something different. Everybody's freaking out about Jaguar. They released their cars. Now, everybody was freaking last week or the week before about the brand, the logo and the brand and the ads that came out kind of launching this new thing. Now they've released the car renders and people are again freaking out. And we're gonna talk about it today in this video because I'm gonna explain to you what I think Jaguar is doing and what you don't understand about what they're doing. But hopefully by the end of this video, if I do my job right, you're gonna say, okay, I see what they're doing. Right or wrong, agree with it or not, you'll understand what Jaguar is doing after you watch this video. Okay, let's dig in to the things. Here's the cars. Okay, Jaguar releases the car renders today and we can see people are wigging out about this. There's the pink one and the blue one and they're all like woke this and woke that and all freaking out. Okay, so this is what's going on in the car design world. It's not even the car design world. Maybe it's going on there, but in the design world that I'm part of, in the design community, people are wigging out. I did a reel last week that addressed what they're doing this for and the reality of the numbers of Jaguar. And I'm going to play that reel for you right now. It's 56 seconds, something like that. So check out this reel. Jaguar launched a new logo. I'm gonna tell you why it's awesome. People love to trash new logos from classic brands. And this one is getting trashed with comments like these. Why? It looks so generic. The old logo is so much better. It sets them apart. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give me one valid reason for this. Here's why it's broke and the valid reason. In 2017, Jaguar was booming and sold 39,886 cars. Then things started to drop dramatically. Last year, they sold 8,348 cars and this year looks about the same. Some people will say that's because their cars suck, but I don't know, I've never owned one, and most of those people probably haven't owned one either. I mean, the Jaguar XF looks pretty cool, and it has the cool old Jaguar logo on the front that everyone claims was a classic and not broken. And in 2022, it sold a whopping 809 cars, which is freaking awesome compared to the I-Pace that only sold 439. When you have numbers like these, everything is subject to change. Your leadership, your logo, your cars, you might even try a Zoolander commercial. It takes guts to let go of old strategies and classic brands. But if your business is tanking, everything is subject to change. I'm gonna cheer them on. Way to go, Jaguar. And by the way, congrats on all the free publicity the last couple days. I hope it boosts sales. Okay, now you can see in there, the problem is the numbers. People are not buying the cars. Now, a lot of the comments that came into that reel when I tried to explain the point, were people saying, oh, if they just go back to the classic and it's ugly, it doesn't matter, change is good, but if it's ugly, it's not good, and that kind of thing. And it was a lot of subjective opinion-based feedback in there and unresearched. What I like to do in business in general is I like to look at the numbers. I like to look at the data. I like to look at the reality and take an objective view, try and take away my own opinion and look at it from an objective perspective, not a subjective opinion. I don't like it, therefore it's bad. That's not the way to look at anything, especially in business. I don't like it, therefore it's bad. If you're not the target customer, then your opinion does not matter. If you're not the target customer, the opinion of the target customer is what matters. So hate their logo, hate their brand, whatever it is, you probably are not their target customer. I think you're going to understand their target customer more after we go through this video. All right, so in response to that reel, I got all kinds of feedback. So I'm going to show you a couple of those. I just put them on here, these two. Somebody said to me, you've completely missed the point. Now, I disagree with this. The point I was trying to make, I think I made very clear. I was making the point in response to the question, why did they do this? Give me one good reason. And the point I was making is their numbers are slumping. That's the good reason. And so they're going back to the drawing board in their business. That's the reason. Now, the second part of this says people want the old Jaguar back. Before 2017, people want the classic English brand back. Okay, keep that in your brain as I show you a couple pictures coming up. Now, the old Jaguar brand, how old are we talking here? Because I'm going to show you some photos that show that Jaguar is going back to the old Jaguar. And they are going back to the classic English brand. That's what they're going back to, like it or not. Okay, and then here's another one. This is only 2 on here. Just because things need to change doesn't mean you just change it to something worse. Now, opinion, that's subjective. Worse, better, depends who you are. If you're the target customer, it's better. If you're not the target customer, you can perceive it as worse. You can rebrand or change something classic if it's actually good. Okay, so their opinion here is that this is not good and it is not adhering to the classic Jaguar. Okay, so let's take a look at some photos. On the top here are the new cars, and on the bottom is a classic Jaguar. Look for photos of where did they get this styling on the new vehicles? Where did it come from? Take a look at the bottom picture versus the top picture. You can see that roadster style with the longer front and the domey back top area. Are they not echoing back to the classic? Okay, let's look at this one right here. This one I pulled mostly because of the blue, but look at the lines on this classic Jaguar versus what we have up above. Look at this one, the blue versus the blue and that classic line. And the shape, the silhouette of this car is nearly identical. I mean, look at the length of the wheelbase and look at the swoop of the back of the car versus the straightness of the front. So you have the front, it's almost the same silhouette. We need a top on the one on the bottom, but you can look at this and say, okay, I see where they got it. I see where it came from. That angle, look at that angle on the back trunk. It's almost exactly what the angle is on the roof, that little curved area. Man, so I see it. I can see them going back to the classic. So those of you that say they're not, I think that they are, and I think that these couple pictures show that. Here's another shot of one that I was just trying to find one that was similar in color to the pink. Found this kind of maroon one. But again, you can see some of that echoing back to the classic. Look at the wheels, too, on this one, the top versus the bottom. You have the modernized version of what is on the bottom vehicle here, but the bottom one is from like the 50s, and the top one is the new release. Okay, I don't want to beat that horse dead on them adhering to the classic. This is a shot of the interior. The top one is a classic Jaguar, and the bottom one is the new Jaguar. And I think you can see the striped, lined, tan seats and the wood trim on the classic Jaguar and a modernized version of that aesthetic in the bottom picture. Are they just abandoning the classic? No, I think they're going back to what we consider now the retro classic. All right, let's go to this. Okay, here, this is the problem that most people are facing right now in their response to the Jaguar car designs and the brand in general. We live in this freaking world, and this world sucks. This is the world of boring cars. Look at this. This thing is the Ford Focus or whatever kind of low-end sedan. This is what people drive now. Get on the road is so boring, and I'll show you the difference if we go back. Here's the Chevrolet version of that. I don't know what they call this now, the Cruze or something like that. But we have this boring versus boring, and here's the Chrysler. Boring. Boring, 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 boring. This is what we're used to, and this is what consumers have been buying for the last couple decades, 3, 4, 5 decades now. Yeah, sadly. Since the 80s, we started this boring car trend. I think it probably started with the Chrysler K car, the K car. Look that up if you want to see something. But this was the start of the boring car world. Now you go before that era and you go back into the 70s and 60s and 50s and you start to see cool looking cars experimenting with color and styling and flair and chrome and cool wheels and just these details that are in these older vehicles. This is what the road looked like back then. Go watch the old Adam West Batman cartoons and you can see so much more variety on the road back in those days. This is a 57 Chevy or something, I think. And anyway, look at the blue and look at the swoops and look at the stuff. My point of showing you these, here's a pink version. My point of showing you these is Jaguar not going back to the classic? I think they're just going back further than the classic that some of you are thinking. Some of you think that the classic Jaguar is the Jaguar from 25 years ago or 30 years ago. But I think Jaguar seems to be going back to the Jaguar from 50, 70 years ago, not 20, 30 years ago. Okay, so that's just a couple little things here. Here's another little roadster. This is a Mercedes. Take a look at this classic Mercedes and compare it in your brain, since I don't have a comparison up. Compare it in your brain to the Jaguar car designs. And then here, this is similar or the same as the one that I had in that first photo, comparing it to the current newly released Jaguar renders. All right, so we got a couple things in place right now, and then I'll go on to the next thing. The first thing in place is, why are they doing it? They're doing it because their numbers are in trouble, and so they are making a dramatic pivot in their business. Yay, Jaguar. You need to do that. If your business is struggling and the data tells you that your business is struggling, then you need to go back to the drawing board, and everything is on the table. Everything is on the table. Management, staff, design, brand, company name, manufacturing strategy, everything is on the table if you're not delivering a product that sells. Okay, so that's point number one. Let me just check this off so I make sure I get all my points in. Point number two is, look at the Jaguar cars, and they are going back to the classic. You can see it in the silhouette of the classic 50s Jags versus now. Now let's talk about the world that we're getting in. This is point number three. The world we're getting into is the non-boring car world. The non-boring car world. And Elon Musk and Tesla released the freaking Cybertruck. Now, personally, I'm not going to buy a Cybertruck. It's not for me. That does not mean that it's not for some people, because I see a ton of them on the road. I see them all over the place. I see them in multiple different colors. Here's a Cybertruck. This may be silver, but the pink lighting gives it that same coloring as the pink Jaguar that we're looking at. And I've seen these Cybertrucks in tons of different colors out on the road already. I think people are getting them wrapped or something, or maybe they come in multiple colors. I don't know. I'm not going to buy one. It's not for me, but that does not mean it's not for some people, because it is, because they're buying it. So we've got this on the road already. We have, here's the interior of the new Jag, and the top is the Cybertruck. So again, just trying to emphasize here, where is car design going? Well, Cybertruck's already on the road, and the new Jag looks very similar in its interior aesthetics to the Cybertruck. Is this where we're headed? It seems to be. It seems to be. Okay, check this out. This is the Rolls-Royce Spectre, which is Rolls-Royce first electric car. They announced this a couple months ago. This is 2024. They announced this car a couple months ago. Look at the headlights and the grille, and compare it to the Jaguar that just got released. Here is another render of the Spectre, the Rolls-Royce Spectre. Now here, if we look at the top is the Jag, and the bottom is the Rolls-Royce Spectre. Now, some people may not like the Rolls-Royce Spectre. I suspect it will do well because it's Rolls-Royce. I also don't think it's a stretch to say that some people are going to like the Jaguar up above, because it is in harmony with where car design seems to be going, based on Cybertruck, based on Rolls-Royce, based on the new Jag renders, and based on this. The Ford CEO This was back in September, so 2 months ago, 3 months ago. He said, no more boring cars. No more boring cars. Let's go back to this freaking boring cars. Look at these freaking things. Why are we driving this crap right here? Why are we driving this right here? Why are we paying money for this? It has no style, no personality. We're like this freaking living in the Matrix. We're just like non-player characters driving around in our non-player character cars. And shame on based on the response, shame on Jaguar for trying to do something a little different. I'm trying to defend their choice. I don't know if it's for me. I don't know if I'll buy one. We'll have to see. But I'm not going to write it off and say I will never buy one and their company is going to go under. It's in harmony with what other car brands are doing right now. And in harmony with what Ford CEO says, no more boring cars. Good. Let's get the freaking boring cars off the road. It's way more fun. Think of it in the 50s. Look at all those cars from the 50s. So much better. Okay. Let's talk now about the ad. This got a lot of backlash too. People are talking the Zoolander thing. I made a little reference and joke to Zoolander. Meaningless words. These are some of the things that I've heard floated around. Meaningless words and this kind of woke style, and this doesn't cater to people, and they're ignoring their core audience, blah, blah, blah. I can see that. I can see it. It has that really fashion style, runway style thing, the Zoolander style, create exuberant, copy nothing, live vivid, copy nothing, Jaguar. So we have these things right here. These are some shots from the ad, and this got a lot of backlash too. And I think it's because people don't understand what Jaguar is trying to do. And this is what they're trying to do. Balenciaga, one of the brands that costs a whole lot of money. These are the people, the fancy people in the world, got to have the Balenciaga, whatever. I'm going to show you a couple things here, but look at this photo from one of their ads. Here is a Kim Kardashian photo. She could be walking around in this ad right here. You could put Kim Kardashian in the top right next to the dude in the orange and have her wearing this red with her yellow hair, and she fits right in. She fits right in with the crew on here. Nobody would bat an eye. All right. We've got this another Kim Kardashian ad on here. Okay, now we have the Live Vivid Jaguar Copy Nothing, and here is the runway from Balenciaga fashion show. This is the runway models walking down. Look at, they freaking are wearing the same clothes. Look at the bottom of this right here. They got the red, the wrap. Look at the girl in the bottom right under the R, and she's all wrapped up in the whatever. I don't know this fashion world like this, but it's not hard to see where Jaguar got these ideas or this styling, where it came from, because you can see it here in Balenciaga. Balenciaga sells expensive fashion, and it's expensive because the Balenciaga name is on it. This is a t-shirt that is $850. It's a Lamborghini t-shirt. Now look at the dude on here with his necklace and his ski goggle sunglasses, whatever he's wearing here, $850. People buy this stuff. I don't buy this stuff, but people buy this stuff. And those kinds of people are probably the types of people that Jaguar is hoping to capture with their new car models. Those kind of people. Here's another one. This is $1,790 skirt. $1,790. This is the model shot on how that skirt is sold for $1,790. Now you take this person and maybe make it a little bit brighter version, but take that person, stick them in a brighter version of that skirt, and fits right here. It fits right in, face and all, sunglasses and the whole deal. You could just take that person and just drop them right into it. So where did Jaguar get this, what we see as crazy idea for their video ads? Man, they're just taking a page out of Balenciaga, a revered and expensive fashion-oriented brand. So here we got the last little shot here. A few points on this video of what I would want you to have as a takeaway. Number one, if we're not the target customer, it's realistic that we might have an adverse reaction to it. Oh, why are they changing? Don't change. Stick with the thing that you were doing before because it was cool. If it was so cool, people are not buying it. And I know that there are quality control issues and things, and that's some of the hardship that Jaguar is needing to overcome in their brand. But there were people saying in the comments of posts, and my posts and other people's, that the problem isn't the brand, it's that they make a bad product. Well, if people have that association with Jaguar being a bad product, then that's synonymous with the brand. Then scrapping the brand and going back to a deeper root, or abandoning the styling, the classic English styling, and going back to something that was more in the 50s or whatever, and abandoning the bad taste that some people have for the more recent Jaguar, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's good to abandon what they were doing before. Okay, why are they doing this? They're doing it because their business numbers are struggling. They are getting back to the classic Jag style. You can see it in the silhouette of those older Jags from the 50s. We are getting into a world where multiple different car companies now, we have Cybertruck, we have Jaguar, we have Rolls-Royce, and we have Ford saying no more boring cars. We have 4 major car brands that are pushing car design into a more futuristic styling. Are the other cars gonna follow suit? I kinda hope so, because I'm sick of the boring cars on the road. Everybody's driving a silver sedan. Come on, we can do better than this in our society. Make things a little more interesting, because it's freaking boring on the road. All right, trends change over time. These design trends change. And I think that the world of car design is going back, I hope, to those more interesting design days. And then hopefully you can see in the ad approach, the Balenciaga ads compared to the Jaguar ads, it's not a stretch. It's not a stretch. So just because it doesn't resonate with you does not mean that it doesn't resonate with someone. And I think what's happening here is Jaguar's going back to a further history than what you're thinking. I think that they're trying to capitalize on the same type of people who buy Balenciaga based on the way that they're advertising. They're trying to capitalize on that same type of target audience, and they need to do a dramatic change because their current business model is not working. So that's what I kind of see happening here. Let me know in the comments what you think is happening. Hopefully I opened your eyes and helped you understand what sense to make of all this. It's interesting to me. That's what it is. It's interesting to me. I don't like to just blanket say it's ugly, I hate it, never use a lowercase letter with an uppercase letter kind of response. That's so simplistic. Let's look at the heart of what they're trying to do and try and figure out what led them to these brand and business decisions. And hopefully what I shared with you today can give you some insight as to what might have led them to these brand and business decisions. They're following the data. All right. Thank you for watching. A little something different from me. Hope you liked it, and we'll see you again in another video sometime in the future. Hey, take it easy on me in the comments. Come on. I'm trying to open your eyes and look at things from an objective perspective. What are they doing? Let's get into the mind of Jaguar and try and understand what they're doing and put away our own bias of I don't like it. And so you can't see past that. Let's look past that and see what they're trying to do. And hopefully you got some of that today. All right. Thanks a lot. We'll see you.